Good afternoon. After 40 years of listening to people's deepest questions as a psychotherapist and spiritual teacher, I can tell you that today's question is in the top 3 I hear most often when it comes to the spiritual journey. And it's this. If heaven is so great, so full of love, oneness, beauty, and perfection, why would any soul ever choose to leave that? Why would we come to a world that's challenging, chaotic, unpredictable, and sometimes painfully unjust and unkind? And the truth is, this is a big question. And the answer to that is, well, there are many reasons we come back. So in today's video, I'm going to focus on the 3 main reasons your soul would choose to leave paradise and return to this earthly school of hard knocks, not just once, but guess what? Hundreds of times. Hi, if you're new to my channel, I'm Dr. Connie Numbers, so stick with me to the end because these 3 reasons might just change how you see your entire life. So here's something I'd like you to think about first because it leads us straight into reason number 1. When in your life have you ever purposely chosen to do something you knew would be very difficult, very challenging, but you did it anyway because you knew or hoped that the reward would be worth it? I'd love to know what that is if you'd like to share it later on. So let me give you a few examples of what I mean. How about raising a child? To me, by far, bar none, this is the hardest job in the world, being a parent. No sleep, constant worry, and a lifetime commitment. And yet, people do it all the time, over and over again. Why? Because the love and the growth and the lessons learned that come from it for both parent and child are unlike anything else. There is nothing like it. Well, also, how about losing weight or going back to school or starting anything new in midlife after 40? These are all challenges we're willing to accept because the pull towards something meaningful is stronger than the fear of difficulty. So, if you, as a human being, are willing to walk through difficulty for the sake of growth, then you already understand the number 1 reason why we as souls, you as a soul, keep coming back. Just like you, your soul doesn't back away from challenge. In fact, it does the opposite. It seeks it out. It will do whatever it takes for the experience, the expansion, and the growth it came here for. Now, you might be thinking, but wait, if our soul is already whole and loving and knows everything, which it is, why would it need to grow? And the answer is, it doesn't. It wants to grow. And just like our human self, it wants to grow through experience. Let's go back to the parenting thing for a moment. Now, you know as well as I do that you can read every parenting book, you can take every class, you can know everything about childhood development and all kinds of discipline strategies. But until you're up at 3 a.m. with a crying baby, exhausted and overwhelmed, you know nothing about parenthood until you experience that. And you know what I mean. It's the same with love, for example. You can read about love, you can know your love language, but until your heart's been broken or opened wide enough to let somebody in, or until you've made a sacrifice out of love for another, you don't really know love in all its many ways. So if you can't know anything until you experience it, here's why you choose to leave what we call heaven or the afterlife to come here. Think about this. How can you really know courage in heaven when there's nothing to fear? How can you know forgiveness if no one ever hurts you? How can you know trust if there's no such thing as betrayal? How can you know patience when nothing ever tests it? How can you know healing when there is no sickness? How can you know gratitude if there is no lack? How can you know self-love if you've never doubted your worth? So how can you know growth if you've never been challenged? The answer is, you can't. That's why you come back. Because your soul wants the experience earth can give it that heaven cannot. So this is the number one reason we come back to this miserable, messy, beautiful, magnificent place. Because it gives us the opportunity, like no other planet in our solar system, to evolve by experiencing both the light and the dark, both the joy and the sorrow. Which leads us to reason number 2. Now, what I'm about to share with you is a fictional story that literally just popped into my head as I began writing down ideas for this video. And I've learned to always listen to what pops into my head, because most times it's a message from spirit I need to hear. So here is the story that popped into my head. Picture yourself about 10 or 11 years of age, living in a sweet little cabin in the woods with your kind and loving parents. This has been your home since the day you were born, and your parents teach you all about nature, how to listen to the birds, how to gather herbs, how to feel the sacredness of everything around you. You feel oneness with everyone and everything, and honestly, you are totally and unconditionally loved. You're very content. Life is peaceful. It's a wonderful life. It's a safe life. It's like the best Groundhog Day ever. It's absolutely perfect. Until one day, your friend from next door comes running over to you, totally out of breath, shouting, "You're never going to believe this. The carnival has come to town, and it's got fire eaters and clowns and tightrope walkers and hot dogs and popcorn and cotton candy and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! And it's got a Ferris wheel and a roller coaster. Let's go!" Now, if you're any kind of sane child, you're not going to sit there and think it over. You're going, and you say yes, because the thrill of it, the lights, the sound, the action, the magic, the smells, the excitement, it's just too good to miss. Well, believe it or not, that's how your soul feels about coming to Earth. It's the most exciting thing happening. So you don't just come here to work on your stuff. It's not just about growth and healing. Oh, no. You were created to be an adventurous, soulful child. And nothing is more adventurous than coming to a place where there's lots of drama, intrigue, suspense, excitement, love, joy, and beauty. So reason number 2, you came to Earth for the absolute thrill of it all. So let's just think about that for a minute. You get to experience things here you never get to experience anywhere else. Marriage, divorce, being single, having children or not, health, illness, food, sex, money, a career. You get to kiss, dance, sing off key in the car, cry ugly tears, hold hands, and as my husband said to me last night, I know why I came here. I came here for the ice cream and cookies. Well, all righty then. To each his own. And to add even more excitement, through your beautiful human self, your soul gets to experience every kind of feeling there is, from falling apart to falling in love. So yes, heaven is perfect, and it's true. It's home, and believe me, there really is no place like home. But Earth can be friggin' delicious. So, last but not least, this brings us to reason number 3 and why you came here. You came here to help your human self remember that you're still in there. So you didn't fall from heaven, you didn't fall from grace, You didn't fall from anything. You volunteered for Earth so that in the middle of this human journey, you could awaken and remember yourself as a soul living through the eyes of a human life. But this is the hard part, isn't it? Remembering who we are as a soul while being human. Well, how do we do that? Well, there are many ways. But here is the simplest place to start. Whenever you're not sure about what to do about anything, whenever you're having a hard day, even just being you, whenever you want to move forward but feel stuck, do this. Just choose love and ask yourself this very important question throughout the day. What would love do now? Because every time you choose love, when you have every reason not to, you wake up a little bit more, and then you choose love again, and you wake up a little bit more, and you keep asking, okay, what would love do now in this situation, in that situation? And again, keep choosing love, for yourself especially, and for others, until one day you will begin to remember who you really are. And when you begin to remember, here's what becomes very clear. You came here to this earthly place with nothing to lose and everything to gain. And there's no end to your journey, whether you're up there at home or whether you're down here at the carnival, because there's no end to you. Now, I'm going to admit something to you, something I thought I never would, but I'm gonna do that. I have to admit that my deepest wish is that after watching my videos, something stirs inside you, so much so that you find yourself thinking, you know something? I'll have what she's having. Because if you do, it means you're ready for more. More love for yourself, more compassion and kindness, and more of the joy your soul came here to remember. So if this message touches something inside you, I invite you to subscribe and share it with anyone who really needs it, and leave a comment or any question. Because that's how we connect with each other, and that connection is what matters most, not just for this channel, but for you, because it's what keeps us growing together. So until then, may you begin to believe, even just a little, that maybe, just maybe, there really is no one worth knowing more than you.